Hi there, it's Penny. Thanks for sticking around for some more B-roll footage of me in my modest little home. You're looking at me do a jigsaw puzzle from a few weeks ago. Um, Jigsaw puzzles are always something that my mom and I enjoyed doing in the past in January, right after the holidays. Um, we're well, kind of is an understatement. We're very detail oriented people, and something like this, which requires a lot of patience, um, we're all over it, my mom and I, and my grandparents too, actually. And we used to do puzzles with them, and lots of nice memories. This is a jigsaw puzzle of Route 66, historic Route 66, various motel signs, highway signs, pictures, license plates, stuff like that. It's very colorful, as you can see, kind of like the piece you just heard, the Little Prelude Number 3 in D minor by J.S. Bach. You'll note that I wore red in that. I don't usually wear a bright color for these videos, but this piece was just so fiery and spirited, like a tiny little dragon throwing flames constantly, and felt I needed some color for that. But I'm just sitting here at the kitchen table by myself, as you do in the pandemic when you live alone, um, and quite enjoying myself actually. And there is the picture I'm working to complete. 500 pieces, and I've got my little, um, speaking of Route 66, we have a placemat not a placemat, a coaster. My mum sewed me that. And also my little Benjamin Bunny mug with some hot chocolate in it. Yeah, and my my Christmas cake or my fruit cake, as however you want to call it. My mum baked that loaf and sent it in the mail for me. It's sitting on you can't see the picture, but you can see the blue rim of the plate. It's a little Peter Rabbit. Yeah, push that piece in there, Penny. The plate is a very cute little Peter Rabbit dish. Um, I love things with bunnies. Um, I'm quite. It carries my imagination away in the same way, really, as going for car rides and driving and being on abandoned highways and quiet country roads and in the security of the car. It's like you're at arm's length from the world, and I just love that. Um, and so this jigsaw puzzle, anyhow, sort of symbolizes that. And as you can see, an hour later or so here, the thing is coming together. I think I did this in a day. Um, yeah, and I quite enjoyed it. I've got another puzzle on the shelf, another historic Route 66 one. Plus, I've got a vintage motel sign jigsaw puzzle that is also quite nice. Um, but I never do anything with more than 500 pieces. I do have patience, but beyond 500 pieces, ooh, no thank you. I'd sooner apply my patience to the piano. But this was an enjoyable way to spend the day. I do, as I say, love car rides, always have, as long as I'm not in the back seat, because I do get kind of car sick. But as long as I'm in the front, um, going for a ride somewhere, especially where it's quiet, it calms me. It makes my imagination wander in a good way. And I do get restless. Um, uh, and being able to go for rides is a wonderful way to soothe that, because I do ultimately like working from home. That's one thing the pandemic is teaching me, provided I can find work. you know, being an artist is in the arts is already a challenge at the best of times. But when you're a creative person and you've been in places where you're limited in terms of how creative you can be, it really kind of kills your soul. So I would sooner just be sort of the struggling artist, but happy to create and take these little breaks here and there to do a jigsaw puzzle. I do have, excuse me, some, speaking of old cars, not that I've ever ridden in one, but I love to look at pictures of them and would certainly be thrilled to go for a ride. I love cars in general. I know nothing about engines and how they work and that, but to look at them and just it really kind of turns me on. Old cars. Um, I've got a Pinterest board with some old cars in it, and the hood ornaments that some of those old cars had. That was like a an Olympic lady on the hood of the car, just sort of aerodynamically thrust into the wind. You know what I'm talking about. Maybe I'll throw a picture in here of a hood ornament. Um, but yeah, I love this little prelude. These little pieces by Bach. They're so small. They're just 2 pages. Some of them are 1 page, for goodness sake. Um, and it kind of reminds me of some of the doll houses. There's some ones from I think it was the 17th century or 18th century. I should check again. But I had been looking at pictures of Dutch doll houses from around Bach's time, and they're just so ornate and decorative, kind of like the still life paintings. The detail, I really love detail, and I think that's why Bach's music suits me so well, because to play it well, you sort of need every detail clean. In more romantic, passionate, sweeping, pianistic repertoire like Liszt and Chopin, and although I do love their music as well, but I just don't play it so well because I get so hung up on every little note. And in that kind of music, you really need to think broad strokes and big sweeping gestures. But I like detail and clarity. But I'm gonna throw in some footage. Uh, Speaking of driving, a little bit of footage. And I think I'm gonna first, yeah, there's the picture of the puzzle. So it turned out nice, eh? It's very colorful. I included it because that little prelude was so colorful. Um, but yeah, speaking of driving, as I say, I like an abandoned road. Um, I do enjoy nighttime rides. Although I wouldn't say that that's my favorite time, because it does feel a little bit like unsettling when you don't really know what's in front of you. But this was a quiet road. This was Niagara Parkway, which is, you'd never know it from this footage, but on the right is, what is it? The Niagara River. And New York State is on the other side. I think it's Youngstown, New York. And all the vineyards, again, it's pitch black, but there are vineyards all over there. This is between Niagara Falls and Niagara on the Lake, a very beautiful town here in Ontario and not far from my home. So that was some footage, and then I'm going to quickly just show you, because this video is sort of devoted to, at least the B-roll footage is devoted to cars and driving. I do have a few little collectible, little small Tinker Toy cars. I don't know what you call them, model cars, and I want to show you those. So I've got coming up here a yellow Ford Maverick. There is that little beauty. Oh, I think it's from 1973. License plate fell off, so I can't remember. And I got a little motorcycle here. This is just a little generic toy one. My Glenn Gould books in the back. This is the Chevy Impala 1961. And finally, my little 1953 Cadillac with a postcard in back. And finally, here I've got some of the hood ornaments that I was telling you about. Look at her holding the wheel with the wings. on the front of your car. Can you imagine sitting at your steering wheel with the road in front of you and that gal out on the front of the hood over the engine? Yeah, all of these I found online and saved them to my Pinterest board. And maybe I'll include a link to that. But I think they're just so beautiful, very Art Deco, very 1930s looking. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you again soon for some more Bach. Until then, be well.